Alright, footy fans, get ready to join the chat as we talk everything about footy. Here at the NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. Here are your hosts, AJ and Breno.
Good evening, footy fans. Welcome to another exciting episode of NRL Live Chat 2.0 podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Breno, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only PJ. Hey PJ, how's it going?
Yeah, we're going well, mate. It was a cracking round of football, and I'm looking forward to get into it. But make sure, if you're listening, let us know in the comments any questions that you've got to share with us.
Absolutely, PJ. Yeah, all your insights and opinions make this podcast so special. So if you're joining us live on our group page today, then comment away. If you're listening to us on your favourite podcast site, be sure to check out NRL Live Chat 2.0 Facebook group page and join in on the chat. All right, let's jump into it, I think. Let's have a look at round 7.
It was a cracking week of football. I did pretty well with the tipping, but we'll get to tips in a second. Broncos, just amazing against the Raiders. I thought it was a game that I thought it would be a close one. And in the end, the Broncos absolutely wiped the floor with them. And the same thing with the Sharkies on Sunday. I thought that'd be a close affair. And I think it was 32-0 maybe before the Cowboys even scored.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting week of footy. Let's check out the results from round 7 before we dive into what is happening for ANZAC Round 8. So what a weekend of footy. My tips and multis took a bit of a hit as well as my Knights. But some great football. Some great nail-biters and there's also some blowouts. So let's have a look at what happened in Game 1. We had Roosters and Storm. I thought this would be a tough one. Wow, wasn't it a massive matchup? You had 12 all with 6 minutes to go. But Storm managed to get it done thanks to Xavier Coates. Roosters 12 and Storm 18. Dragons and Warriors on Friday. I thought Warriors would run away with it, but Dragons put on a show at Wollongong for Lomax's 100th game. Dragons winning 30-12. Also, disappointing for anyone looking for some form this season when Eels took on the Dolphins up in Darwin. Over 30-degree heat. It was definitely a factor in both teams' handling, I think. However, the Dolphins turned up, smashing the Eels 44-16. Coming into Saturday's Panther and Tigers, they head out to Bathurst for this one. Unfortunately, Benji's Tigers had nothing this weekend, and Panthers power on, winning 22-6. Oh wow, PJ, what's your thoughts for the rest of the round there?
Yeah, I think the Titans on Saturday afternoon, they were really gallant in their loss to Manly. 64 points scored in a 34-30 win to Manly. I thought that was a entertaining match, but it wasn't one for the purists. There wasn't a lot of defence going on. Saturday night, the Broncos, who I thought were the pick of the weekend, smashing the Raiders 34 points to 10. Completely dominant display. Ricky Stewart had no answers for the team, and they'll be back to the drawing board. Despite being still fairly high on the table, they've got a lot of things they've got to look at if they're going to be contenders for the season this year. On Sunday, the Bulldogs upset the Knights. Kalen Ponga, who we were joking about being sticky taped together last week, is now injured and out for 3 months. Tragic news for the Knights fans out there. I'm feeling for you. But the Bulldogs, and I got a message from Steve at Engadine. Steve at Engadine, he's a Bulldogs fan, and he said, PJ, when are you going to give us credit? The Bulldogs, surely you must be tipping them this weekend. So, Steve, to you, you did well last week, mate, and you might be in my tips this week. So keep an eye out for that. And the Sharks, I think it was actually 36-0 before the Cowboys scored. Ended up winning 42 points to 6. And, of course, my Bunnies got home against the bye. Yes, we have a picture. Check it out on the Facebook page. Over 50,000 views of that picture over the weekend, which is amazing. So we appreciate that you loved it. It wasn't mine. I did pinch it from somewhere else, but a very funny picture.
Pretty funny, but yeah, accurate too. They got the points. That's the main thing. Off the bottom. I think the Knights are probably going to be struggling against the bye when they come up to that in a couple of weeks. But anyway.
See how we go. How'd you go on the tips?
Oh, tipping. Yeah, I didn't do too well actually. I got ended up with 4. Looks like you've done all right. What did you get? 6. Look at you go.
Yeah, I got 6. Yeah, the Warriors shocked me. I have to admit, the Dragons and Abs was chatting to us in the live chat. Make sure you join the live chat
Good on you, Abs.
every week. We chat during the game. It's a lot of fun. And Abs was giving me curry for not picking the Dragons and was telling me, you watch. Well, Abs, you're 100% right. The Dragons were on fire, and that's a Dragon joke. So, and the Bulldogs as well. That was a massive upset. I just did not see that one coming. But 6 out of 8. Happy to be in first spot there. How are you going in the tips? What am I? 37?
30. I've got 32, and I'm on 30.
Sorry.
Yeah,
32. How are you going? Let us know in the comments how you're going with your footy tipping.
and if you're following me or the mystery person, you're probably not doing too well. Anyway, hanging in there. Before we go any further, I just wanted to clear up something from last week. I dismissed some of the games leading into last weekend with the previous podcast, saying not much to talk about here. And that's due to the fact that the matchup, I believe, one-sided, no hope of a contest. And you're going to hear this first right here. I am so wrong. I had written off the Dragons, Titans, West Tigers. Pretty good reason, though, but now I realise that this season, there's no way you can predict any team to just come up and expect a win, or an easy win for that matter. Let's take a look at the Titans. Not one win this year, only 9 wins last year. Ripped them off pretty easily, but however, this year, the last 3 weeks, they've come pretty close to topping some of the top teams like Raiders, Manly and Cowboys. So just not getting over the line. Also, West Tigers picking off a couple of the front runners, including Sharks and Eels. So anyway, the Knights are looking to become one of those teams, I think, in the coming weeks for me. So
yeah, it was an interesting weekend of football. There isn't a lot of form at the moment.
No.
When you look at the points table, the Sharks were amazing last weekend. Storm are second. Storm have struggled to win the last couple of games. They've just gotten home a couple of times in a row, and the Sharks, got beat by the Tigers a couple of weeks ago. I don't think anyone's really standing up as a clear premiership favourite. I think it's pretty open at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of teams that, most teams are hot and cold, to be honest. They win one, lose one, and then there's only a couple of teams that seem to be stringing it together. So
yeah, should we have a look at this week's of football?
I think we should. Yeah, let's head over to our ANZAC round at number 8.
In Round 8, the rugby league community will come together to pay tribute to the servicemen and women who have served and continue to serve our countries. Those who embody the ANZAC spirit of loyalty, selflessness, courage and mateship. This year, the round begins with ANZAC Day Rugby League in New Zealand for the first time since 2015, as the Warriors host the Titans at Go Media Stadium, followed by the traditional ANZAC Day clash between the Dragons and the Roosters at Allianz Stadium, and a very special evening encounter between the Storm and the Rabbitohs at AAMI Park. ANZAC Round 2024 in the NRL Telstra Premiership, starting Thursday 25th of April.
Yes, so the ANZAC round, it's a very special round, I think. It doesn't matter what team you follow or where you come from. This is a sacred round where each game has its own special ANZAC Day service. Even the games that aren't on ANZAC Day on Thursday, they pay their respects to all those who fought and served in our country, for our country. And we all show how proud we are that we have the privilege to live in such a great free country. So we'll get underway with game 1. Who have we got?
Game 1, Warriors and the Titans.
There we go.
As I said last week, Warriors, I thought they'd have it, and they didn't. And Titans, I didn't think they'd get it, and they almost did. So
yeah.
How do you pick it? At Thursday, 2 o'clock, Anzac Day. Have we had a 2 o'clock Anzac game before?
I'm not too sure. It's definitely it's the Warriors' first one at home since 2015. So It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember a game before the Dragons Roosters fixture, which we see every 4 o'clock on Anzac Day. So it shocked me when I saw it was a 2 o'clock game at Go Media Stadium in Auckland. And the Warriors, I mean, they're going to be desperate for this one. They've got to bounce back to the winner's circle. But the Titans, as you said, they've been so close the last couple of games, and their resilience is starting to pay off. I think they might sneak home there.
Yeah, good chance, especially at home. They're very hard to beat at home. Nickel Klokstad celebrating his 100th NRL appearance too, so well done. Warriors sitting in 10th and Titans in 17th, so anything could happen this game, I think.
They played 32 times. Played 32 times since 1998, and the Warriors have won 20 of those, and the Titans 12. And the last time they met on the Gold Coast, 28-18 to the Warriors, and the time before that in Auckland, 27-26 to the Titans. So they've got some form away against the Warriors.
Yeah, Titans looking for that first win, so they might be desperate as well. Warriors are paying $1.20 and Titans paying $4.45, so not much money there for the Warriors, but either way, it should be a good game. What's happening in game 2? We've got Dragons versus the Roosters. Dragons and Roosters are gearing up for their annual Anzac Day clash. It's definitely a highlight on the NRL calendar. A lot of tradition behind this game. Currently Roosters are in 11th on the ladder, struggling to maintain consistency throughout the season. Also seeking to bounce back from a close loss to Melbourne. While the Dragons are riding high after an upset against the Warriors, as we spoke about just before. Dragons have got a 4-3 record this season. Anzac Day clash. This clash marks the 22nd meeting between the two teams, with Dragons holding historical advantage 12-9 since the inaugural clash in 2002. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they've played 49 times since 98, and the Roosters actually have the advantage 26-22 with one draw. The Dragons won last year 24-22, and the Roosters won this clash last year 27-26. So they're kind of still splitting it there, But for me, the Roosters, were pretty poor the other night. I don't think Melbourne were fantastic, but they got home. The Roosters, a lot of drop ball in real critical positions, and seeing Trent Robinson's face, I must admit, Breno, there was quite a few moments in the box he looked completely bewildered, and I know he had something to say after the match. Here's the press conference.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. You got to have a laugh at that. Yeah, no, he was completely out of line. I mean, the referee calls were not. There was nothing wrong with them. They were fine, and Sofa Solomona touched the guy's back for a brief moment, and he's trying to claim a push. It's just ridiculous. I mean, when you're desperate, and the Roosters are desperate at the moment, they're sitting in 11th position. I don't think anyone thought they'd be that low this year. Yeah. You got to blame someone, right?
That's right.
And what the Roosters need to do, and the thing I love about Anzac Day, Breno, is it doesn't matter where the Roosters and the Dragons are on the table. It's always a contest.
Always, yeah.
The Dragons have spent quite a fair bit of time a lot further down the table in recent years, but on Anzac Day they stand up, man, and this is going to be an absolute cracking clash. I've got the whole family coming around for a barbecue. It's going to be a great game.
Nice. Yes, I dare say Robert will be getting a nice little fine in the mail. Anyway.
Yep, you might get a judiciary appearance for the NRL. Anyway, that was the second game on Anzac Day, and the final game on Anzac Day is back down to Melbourne. The Storm up against my South Sydney Rabbitohs. South Sydney has never won in Melbourne, ever. Could this be the year? Melbourne are winning their second spot. They're not playing fantastic football, but they're still getting the job done. So they're looking strong. The Storm have won 10 of their 13 Anzac Day matches, and have beaten us every single time in Melbourne. So South, on the other hand, we jokingly said we won the bye, but before that there was a much improved game against the Cronulla Sharks. It was still a loss, but we saw signs that we can get the attack back to where it needs to be. The question is, can we get the defence sorted out against a pretty potent Storm team that can be on in big days like this?
So yeah, Jack White and this might help you out. Now he's playing with you guys. Is a commendable record in Melbourne, involved in victories in 5 out of his last 6 outings in Melbourne. So he might be the just what you need to get over the line there. Also, interesting one here, PJ. Storm winger Xavier Coates boasts an exceptional scoring record here too, netting 25 tries in just 22 games at Amy Park. So that's the Storm looking good in that sense. But yeah, well, Storm is sitting in second. So
yeah, that's an amazing stat. All right, Friday, Manly Eels, one of my favourites.
Oh, press the right button. There we go. All right, so yeah, Seagulls versus Eels. They are on Friday, 4 Pines Park, Sydney, kicking off at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. I'm guessing that's Sydney time, yes. The NRL's intensive rivalry reignites as Seagulls seek vengeance against the Eels. Just 5 weeks since their last clash at Combank Stadium in round 3. Underrated by setbacks, Manly rebound with victories over the Panthers and Titans, showcasing some resilience despite a subsequent loss to the Dragons. Daly Cherry Evans and Luke Brooks' dynamic partnership in the halves. I think they're definitely propelled Manly's speedy duo. Tom Trbojevic and Koala scoring a combination 8 tries this season. So yeah, they've got a bit of a combo going, which is good.
Yeah, Luke Brooks, he's an interesting one, isn't he? Because when he left the West Tigers, I thought, you know what, that's not going to be a good move for Manly. But somehow that was a good move for Manly, and it was a good move for the West Tigers. It's been a win-win, which has been fantastic to see.
Yeah, so and the Eels are reeling from a humbling defeat to the Dolphins. Yeah, Brad Arthur's prompting a search for a moral-boosting win at 4 Pines Park, so that should be a good one. Hopefully,
$1.32 Manly, Eels $3.41. You know, but Manly and Parra takes him back to the 80s, Breno. I don't know if you remember the 80s, Manly versus Parra, all the fantastic players that were in the competition back then. Manly, Parra, Bulldogs are pretty much the best 3 teams in the league. And I remember that ad, I think it was a Tui's ad. Have we got that?
Might
we
have something there. Let's have a look.
But here we go again. Manly and Parra. Parra's well ahead, but the gap starts to narrow. Manly's coming back. Seems like they're built out of steel. How do you feel? You pump 'em, pick 'em up and dump 'em. Manly's coming back. Russia keeps on coming. Just goes to show what an eagle can do to an eel. How do you feel? Manly's coming back. A good trial do it. Up goes the bomb. Too bad they blew it. The Eels see a chance and latch on to it. Just emotion comes sliding in, and all the crowd begins to sing. I feel like a Tui's. I feel like a Tui's. I feel like a Tui's or 2.
There you go. Blast from the past, absolutely. Oh, I was probably a little bit young then, but yeah, it's definitely a blast from the past and classic.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you're just always up for. The Manly versus Parra. They hate each other, which is awesome. And it's going to be another good clash. Manly, like I said, edged home the Titans last week. Parra, terrible in their game. Calls by the media this week for Brad Arthur, you know, that he's flying under the radar and he's underperforming. And the pressure's going to be on that game. All right, Breno, what's going to be happening in Game 5? It's the Tigers and Broncos.
Tigers and Broncos. Yes, on Saturday at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. To kick off at 5:30. West Tigers eager to snap their 3-game losing streak. They prepare to face off against the Broncos. Fresh from a dazzling victory against the Raiders. Reece Walsh's outstanding performance, commendable. They played extremely well, thwarting Canberra's hopes of a consecutive victory. West are sitting in 13th. Broncos sitting up there in 6th. I think they're doing all right. I feel they probably should be up a little bit higher, but they just need to string a few more wins together. West are paying $4.60. Broncos paying $1.20.
Very short favourites.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, very short favourites. Broncos for me, just outstanding last week. The way they played against the Dolphins the week before, and then last week against Canberra. Are they really premiership contenders? And we got a message from Kai from Papua New Guinea, and g'day to all our Papua New Guinea fans. Thanks for joining on and watching.
Absolutely.
Go PNG. Kai said, the Brisbane Broncos, do you think PJ and Breno that they are contenders this year? I think absolutely. What are you thinking, Breno?
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I was saying. That where they're sitting on the ladder, it doesn't really reflect how they're playing. Like they're starting to get it together. Yeah, like I said, just need to string some more wins together, and they're going to be up in the top 4 very soon, I think.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Brisbane is even when they've got injuries, they're keeping it going. They did lose a couple with Reece Walsh out, but Adam Reynolds was out last week. They got a solid win. Ezra Mam's out this week. The teams have just dropped. Ezra Mam's out this week, but Adam Reynolds is back in, along with the forward whose name escapes me. Is it Pat Carrigan? I think he's back in as well. West Tigers soul searching a little bit after last week's effort. Underwhelming. They'll be desperate. Back at Campbelltown, they got a capacity crowd last time and didn't handle it. I can't see anything but a Broncos win there on Saturday afternoon.
Definitely.
Yeah, they haven't had a good record against the Broncos either, and that's going to be a tough one for them. So that takes us to Game 6, which is our Saturday night game, 7:35, up in Townsville. The Cowboys versus the Panthers. And the Cowboys, worst performance of the weekend. Absolutely last weekend. The Cronulla Sharks absolutely blew them out of the water. I don't think they've hit the earth yet. I think they're still flying through the sky.
That was pretty bad.
They might not have even needed a flight back to Townsville. The Sharks blew them out of the water so hard. Panthers last week had the game against the West Tigers. They were good without being great, but they're one of those teams that are getting along without Nathan Cleary, and I think they're going to get along again. The home crowd does really affect the North Queensland Cowboys, so I'm expecting them to definitely play a better game up in Townsville.
Yeah, so Panthers have managed 2 wins without Nathan Cleary out of the 3 games, but Panthers definitely have a formidable forward pack, so definitely poised to dominate the field in Townsville, I reckon.
And I just saw the team lineup, Breno. Breaking news.
Oh, there we go.
Nathan Cleary's in.
Oh, is he? There you go.
Nathan Cleary is back this week, along with Taylor May. And they've played 42 times since 98. The Panthers 22, Cowboys 20, and the last time they met was at Penrith Park, 44-12 to the Panthers. So not good recent form for the Cowboys.
Interesting stat though for the Cowboys. It's going to be their 50th game at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. So, yeah.
Oh, the new
stadium. The new stadium,
okay,
yeah. It's not so new now.
The new stadium.
Yeah, it's not so new now. They've had 50 games there, so.
Yeah. All right, Game 7, Breno. What's happening? Dolphins and the Knights.
Yeah, we have the Dolphins versus the Knights this Sunday at Suncorp Stadium. Kickoff at 2 p.m. I'm guessing that's New South Wales time again. Dolphins triumphed over the Eels despite mounting injuries. while the Knights suffered a heavy defeat against the Bulldogs. Boo! Compounding by the loss of captain to a long-term injury. Ponga looking like he's going to be out for 12 weeks. That's not good for the Knights. Despite missing key players, coach Wayne Bennett, the Dolphins dominated against Parramatta, fueled by their formidable forward pack. Knights have struggled at Suncorp as well, so losing 3 of the last 4 games there, while Dolphins have lost 2 out of the 3 games at that venue in 2024. Leading the NRL in average point score, the Dolphins showcase their offensive prowess with 28.3 points per game. It's interesting stat as well.
Very interesting. And they've only played twice, and it's 1 each. The Knights won round 23 last year, 30-28, and the Dolphins won round 3 last year, 36-20. So the numbers are split. Dolphins for me last week, not great. Knights, less than not great. I think Dolphins being at home should just get the chocolates. I think it'll be actually a close game. The Knights will fire up without Kalen. Usually when he goes out, they do.
Yeah.
They don't play terrible the next week. They really stand up and fight, but I think the Dolphins might just edge them out there.
Talking about being split, I'm a bit split. I've got my Dolphins shirt on today for Miami Dolphins, NFL, and my Knights hat, obviously, but I'm probably going to tip the Dolphins this week with their record up there. And, but it is Jacob Saifidi's 150th NRL appearance, so well done to Jacob. Dolphins sitting in 3rd. Knights down in 15th.
Last week.
Dolphins.
Amazing last week.
Yeah.
They're going to play some good football.
I think so, yeah.
All right, that takes us to game 8. Final game, 4 o'clock on Sunday. Raiders at home to the first place Cronulla Sharks. And we had some breaking news this afternoon, Brenno.
Sure did.
Breaking news.
Get ready for it.
We had 2 bits of breaking news out of Sharks land, actually. Firstly, Dale Finucane has officially medically retired effective immediately. Brenno, thoughts?
It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, he's been a great player. I couldn't believe he only played 5 Origin matches.
Okay.
No wonder New South Wales hasn't won bloody many Origin games. He's a great player. I don't know how he only played 5 Origin matches. That's a strange one. But yeah, he's medically retiring. He's had some advice about his consistent concussions, and he's going to take that medical advice. He said in the end there was no decision to be made.
Yeah.
He needs to retire, so he'll be doing that. So as a medical retirement, as people may know, his pay from now on, whatever he gets paid out, won't be counted against the salary cap. So the Sharks will have that money free to be able to buy somebody else. I know they've already bought Aiden Fanua-Blake, is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a guy from the Warriors, I forget his name. I think it's Aiden Fanua-Blake. They've got him for next year already for 3 seasons. So he's going to slot right into a very, very good Cronulla Sharks team. Raiders, as I said, no answer last week for the Broncos. Ricky Stewart looked broken in the press conference.
There definitely wasn't a safe water bottle in that in the coach's box. But talking about Ricky Stewart, though, he's actually got a coaching milestone coming up, reaching 500 NRL games.
Oh, wow.
And,
is that this weekend?
That's this weekend. He's only been fined for about half of them. So, talking about the referees. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, these two have played 50 games since 98 when the NRL started. 25 apiece. So last matchup, though, both went to the Sharks. Round 4 this year, 36-22. And the previous matchup, round 27 last year, which I think was a semi-final. No, it was the last round, sorry. 24-6 to the Sharks. I'm tipping a Sharks win. I'm married to a Shark. Happy wife, happy life. I'm sticking with that. Sharkies all the way. Go you good things.
Well, hopefully it's a better game than last week. This could be the match of the round as well. Look, Sharks look in first. Raiders in 7th. If they pick up their game from last week, who knows? This might be a really good game to watch too. It's the last game of the round.
Unreal. I'm really looking forward to this round. The ANZAC Round's a very special round for everyone, and
absolutely.
I've
got my
really
ANZAC badge on, and I'll have my
beautiful.
badge on. I'll be working at the club, so I'll be paying my respects that way.
PJ's tip of the round.
Here we go. Let's have a look at PJ's tip of the round. All right, PJ, what have we got?
I love the sunglasses.
How good is it?
It's really funny. Anyway, so last week I have to start off by apologising. I did get
So you should.
1 out of 4 last week, so it was a little bit disappointing. But this week I'm going to go with Warriors 1 to 12. I'm going with the Storm 13 plus against the Rabbitohs. I'm going to go with the Broncos 13 plus against the West Tigers. And I'm going to go with the Dolphins 13 plus against the Knights.
Ooh.
Those are big scores there. If you like a bet, make sure you gamble responsibly,
Of course, absolutely.
But, PJ's tip of the week. He's going for more than one this week. Hopefully I can get all 4 and makes a few people rich.
Yeah, it wasn't so good last week anyway.
Hey, Breno, why don't we do a flashback as well, just while we're here?
Sure.
So we're talking about the Rabbitohs and the Melbourne Storm. I was at the first game South beat Melbourne Storm. I think it was 2003, 41-14. Brad Watts had an absolute blinder, and I've got a favourite try here. This is 2004. Check this out.
Football tonight, again putting his hand up. Williams, Craigie, not afraid to throw the footy. Last tackle, back to Manu. Manu continues downfield. Flicks it on the inside.
Whoa.
That is absolutely
that was pretty cool.
That was his second try.
I love the back chat. They
that
gave
was
the
his second try. He scored just a minute earlier than that.
they give the back chat the referee, and he's like, "Nah, walk away." He's called it.
Yeah, they go, what about the 2 forward passes?
What's a
There's
forward
couple forward
pass?
passes
Yeah,
there,
what's-
but that was a pretty amazing try.
they don't know what a forward pass is, I think.
Yeah. All right, Breno, anything else for this week, buddy?
I haven't got anything else, but yeah, I love to see everyone's comments in there, so comment away. Hey, make sure you join us on our chat as well. We have a live chat during all of the games, so get on there and tell us what you think about each game. Get onto our group page as well, and let us know your thoughts about all the games. Let us know about your favourite team. Our favourite teams, obviously.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Go the Bunnies. Go the Knights. Go your team. Respect ANZAC Round. And we'll catch you all next week.
Will do. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for joining the chat. Join Breno and PJ next week for some more NRL Live Chat. Goodbye.